In this video, I wanted to show you the example setup of what I use for After Effects. I'm pretty blessed to have a really good PC. I've got 32 gigs of RAM and 3 hard drives and a really good graphics card. So I invested in this computer because I knew that I was going to be using After Effects, and it's really paid off. I've saved so much time, and I've been able to get a lot accomplished with this program. So let's go ahead and run through the preferences that are set up. So I'll go into my preferences, and if we go to media and disk cache, we can see I've got 40 gigabytes allowed, and I actually use my main hard drive for my disk cache because my other 2 hard drives are traditional hard drives. I wish I had 3 SSDs, but I just don't. So I use 40 gigabytes, and it's on my C drive, which is my main computer drive, which has After Effects installed on it. Now, for my conformed media cache, I do have that on separate hard drive. So if we go into my E drive, I've got a scratch disk drive setup, which is I use for Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and After Effects. So if I go into After Effects disk cache, you can see that I've got a folder set up for my conformed media cache, and that's where all of my files go in that After Effects wants to read back to me in a preview format. So looking there, that's for my E drive. If we go back a couple to my other drives I've set up, I have a Dropbox set up on a separate hard drive. I use about 600 gigabytes in a Dropbox account, so I've got all of those files on here, and my imported footage goes into my Dropbox drive. So kind of the workflow is I have After Effects installed here. When I import footage, it goes into my Dropbox folder, so it's on a different drive than my main After Effects folder, although my media cache is connected to my C drive, which is on a fast SSD, so it can read the footage really well. And then I've also got my scratch disk set up on a separate drive. As we mentioned, After Effects likes to have things on separate drives so to get the most efficient workflow. Now, one other benefit I have is I have a really nice graphics card, so I can go in and play back things in 1080 and on full resolution a lot of times, unless I have a ton of effects, because of the fact that the graphics card handles a lot of the processing. So if we go down to my autosave, I've got every 2 minutes that I save, and I was talking about that in a previous video. And then on my memory, I only have 6 gigabytes of RAM reserved for other applications because I want After Effects to use as much RAM as it can whenever I'm working in the program. So quick tip is just to make sure you have all your other programs closed if you're not using them. When you're working in After Effects, make sure that you are pretty much working solely in After Effects. Maybe you have Photoshop open or something like that, but if you can upgrade the RAM on your computer or move to an SSD, I highly recommend it because it's going to save you a bunch of time and increase your workflow by a lot. So I hope this has been helpful, and if you have any questions, just make sure that you mention it in the discussion in the course, and I will see you in the next video.